Welcome to Infacto Digital. We talk about AI, we talk about small business, and we talk about how to use AI in small business. We give you the latest news, the latest trends, and the latest tips and tricks on how to actually use AI in your business. After listening to this, you're going to be the AI expert that people are asking for.
Yeah, this week we talk about the new founders, big tech's mass exodus, and the rise of small businesses.
And then we're going to talk about how Zoom users can now create their own custom AI agents in Zoom. Yeah, the video chat app.
And Elon, SpaceX buys Cursor, the vibe coding platform.
All right, stick around, watch till the end. We got something special for you.
This is just showing the total business applications in the United States. And you can see it peaked during COVID when money was free. If we see the majority of people moving to more gig work, starting their own business, I wonder if that helps the soulless feeling that people have in the corporate world where they feel like there's no meaning to it.
If you can't put 10 hours into it a week, what makes you think you're going to be able to put the 60 in a week whenever you do it full time?
If you're not using AI, you're going to fall behind. Dylan, I wanted to talk to you about this article I saw, which is kind of interesting because I entered tech about 4 years ago. And since then, it seems like the goal of tech workers has been to get hired by a FANG company and then just stay there till you retire, basically.
Yeah.
At least, a lot of them because of the benefits. But this article that came out.
What's it titled?
Yeah, let me pull it up real quick. It's from Business Insider. Okay, got it. It's called The AI Gold Rush is Pulling Workers into Startups as Layoffs and Return to Office Push Them Out of Corporate Jobs.
Oh, okay.
So basically what it's explaining is the rise of people unwillingly or, not by their choice or also just voluntarily leaving these bigger corporations and just starting their own thing. And the main contributing factor to that is AI makes everything much more accessible.
Yeah, so that's interesting. AI, I don't want to get into AI yet, but there's been this interesting shift with remote work since COVID. Everybody went remote and they're like, oh, our people are great remote. We should have been doing this the whole time. And then
they said it was better.
Yeah, then there was a slow revert and it's like, no, we need people back in the office. And a lot of the smaller companies, at least small tech companies, small marketing agencies, small tech software consulting, a lot of them are doing remote. And then, the big FANG, the Fortune 5,000 companies are bringing people back into the office. Those top big companies doing billions of dollars a year, whether they're traded or not traded publicly, they are bringing people back to the office, and these smaller companies are allowing people to stay in office. I think the smaller companies can be more selective with who they hire, and they're also trying to cut costs the most and be super lean. I think it used to be, you go work at a FANG company, or is it Mang now, since it's Meta?
Oh yeah, true.
But you go work at one of these companies, you get a sick deal with equity and everything.
Tons of stock.
Yeah, and then you get enough money to do your own startup by the age of 35 or 40. That was the thing. But what was the thing that it brought up about AI? Where did it bring AI into this?
It's mainly talking about how people are able to just use it to start their own business way easier. They don't have to learn every aspect of it.
Yeah, that naturally goes into what I was going to say is a lot of these people, and this is before AI, left a FANG company and started their own business because they saw how things were going in the big business. They left and then they started doing their own thing. They made connections. They had vendors that they were already talking to, all of that. Yeah. And now with AI, it just makes it a lot easier to go, not easier, but it makes it a lot more doable to go build a company based on what you learned at the big company you just worked at. You have some capital. And AI is just letting you, instead of having to hire 5 people, you and a partner can go do it yourselves.
Yeah, for sure. And you don't have to make as much money as the big companies because you're supporting 2 people instead of, 10,000.
Yeah.
So you're able to target smaller clients, bring in less money, and it still be a better deal for you.
Yeah. So we're already seeing kind of what we've been talking about on this podcast historically of AI is going to create a lot of small businesses, a lot of jobs. Like I always say the farmer back in, the pre-industrial revolution where every area kind of before before trade was a big deal and you were trading with the people within, 10 miles or things that were further than that were super expensive. We're getting into that same kind of economy, but it's going to be more global to where, I do this one little thing instead of, I grow corn or I, have bear skins. It's my thing is I do this very niche thing with software or whatever. I can do this thing to help you serve your customers.
Right.
And there's going to be a bunch of people that are doing all those things. And it's going to be interesting. It's going to be a little more of a gig economy. It's scary, but I think this article is interesting because it's kind of, I guess, big tech is starting to realize it.
Yeah, I think that's where they're seeing it, like the first wave of this happening, mostly because those people have either like really good severance packages that they've received, or they have, savings and stock in the FANG companies they can sell to kind of fund their startups. So they have a bit more of a cushion than, someone coming from a smaller company.
Yeah. Yeah. And if you don't know what FANG is, that traditionally stands for Facebook, Amazon, Apple, Netflix, Google.
Let's go. Good.
Thank you. I mean, we could even extend it and add, Anthropic, ChatGPT. But honestly, those two companies they started a while ago doing more research type of stuff. But recently, they've started taking more people from Google. Right now in the AI space, it's like Anthropic, OpenAI, Facebook, and those are the big ones that are just trading people right now. Like they'll shift around. They'll leave Google, they'll go to OpenAI, or they'll go from OpenAI to Anthropic. A lot of people, at least I've heard a lot of stories of people leaving OpenAI, going to Anthropic.
Yeah, I think Zuckerberg is like paying crazy salaries for some of those ex-OpenAI people.
Yeah, like millions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the guy that made OpenClaw,
yeah,
I think, was it Anthropic or maybe OpenAI?
It was OpenAI. OpenAI paid him.
Yeah, a ton of money.
So crazy. The Moltbook, the social media thing that was made with that. So Meta bought that. Facebook did.
Okay. That makes sense.
So very interesting that's going on.
Is that still live?
Know. I don't know.
That felt like a fun 2-day adventure, and then
yeah, but they paid like $200 million for it or something.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah,
like money's not real.
No. Here, I want to share this graph really quick from this article.
Yeah, cool. And then I want to do like a little bit of a summary. Like, what does this mean to the small business owner listening to this? Right after we get through this chart.
Yeah, we can get to that for sure. So this is just showing the total business applications in the United States, and you can see it peaked during COVID when money was free. Lots
business
of
applications, people submitting applications for like an EIN or LLC.
Yeah,
okay,
to form a business. Yeah. And this is from the Census Bureau. So it peaked in 2020.
Yeah, COVID.
And then it kind of trailed off from there. But it looks like as of the last couple months, we're back to that high. So we're definitely trending up as far as people applying to start businesses. So it's kind of seeing the data come in like what we've been predicting about more smaller businesses starting up.
Yeah. So what's cool is that line stays up. It didn't shoot up and then shoot down. It just created a new status quo on how many businesses start in the US.
Yeah, that's true. And what this means for smaller business, I don't know. That could be, obviously, if you're not using AI, you're going to fall behind, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Because you're going to have a lot more competition entering.
Yeah. And getting into AI isn't actually that hard. I know a lot of businesses put off, getting online. There's a lot of e-commerce opportunity, for the local hardware store. It could have been a lot easier for their customers to buy stuff from them, and they could have scaled to be a lot bigger. But it's daunting. There's a lot going on there. And so finding someone that you can trust to help you find where this AI is going to fit, and having ideas of, find one thing that somebody is doing consistently that takes, 4 to 8 hours a week. And if it's like, if it's organizing things, if it's like organizing digital things, like that's a good candidate. If you're like going through spreadsheets, emails, all that stuff, that's a great candidate for AI. I was going to say my thought with small business here is, I think as a small business owner, it's very hard sometimes to refer people to another service provider or another business, because it's like, oh, I could just do that. But in this world where there's a bunch of businesses, your value is like very narrow, and it's almost going to be some people do want a business that could just handle everything, but some people need to realize that there is value in referring people to another business. Like if your business does, roofing, it may be very tempting to go into drywall or insulation or HVAC even. It may be very tempting because people are like, oh, do you know somebody that does this? And you're like, well, I kind of can figure out my way around things. I can do drywall. And then
It's
you
all
do
hammer
it.
and nails.
Yeah. But you don't realize how resources that's going to take. Like you never know what's on the other side, right? The grass is always greener on the other side because there's manure. A lot of manure there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's
and
good.
So all that to say, like, I have to remind myself of this because it's like there's so much tech stuff to do that when somebody asks for something, I have to really consider, is this best for me to help them do this? Or should I tell them to just go pay for the subscription because it's going to be a lot better in the long run, or have somebody else work on that thing for them? Like technology and marketing, two things that tie together very closely. But it's like if I was to help a business owner, let's say the business owner before who is reluctant to integrate AI into their stuff, but they wanted to start with one thing. If they then said, oh, well, we also need sales help, or we also need like some accounting help. It's like I have to be very selective with the kind of things I'm willing to do. Of course, the accounting thing's completely different. You could automate part of that, but you would want somebody in the business that knows, what they need. Like all that to say, like it could be very tempting to be like, oh yeah, I can go help you with your marketing and do all this stuff. But at the end of the day, I have to keep focused on a handful of things so that those things go well.
Yeah. So are you saying basically like it's easy to want to just take that quick extra revenue and say, I can do that for you. But then the risk there is you don't do a good job and you end up like hurting your reputation, or also the potential of like, if you recommend them to someone else, that opens the door for them to recommend someone else back to you. So you kind of build like those business relationships.
Yeah. It's kind of both of those. I've noticed as I've taken on like a wide array of types of clients, I wish that I would have just stayed with a specific type of client, just because, you're a lot more efficient that way. You can actually charge less for that work because you're solving the same problem 10 times instead of solving 10 different problems once,
Yeah, that makes sense.
That's what I'm working on. How that's relevant to this is, there's more people out there doing business, which is good and bad. The good part is you have more opportunity to make connections and solve problems for customers with other businesses. The bad part is there's a lot of garbage out there, and there's a lot of people who don't know what they're talking about. And it's just like hiring an employee. Like it's a risk. It's actually safer than hiring an employee though, because an employee comes on, if they're full-time, it's a mess, but you have a lot of stuff. But at least start part-time. If that's not going well, hire somebody, like contract somebody. And then, it's very, it's almost not gonna like, there's going to be like 5 employees in a lot of businesses. I actually think a majority of small businesses now like have less than 5 employees. And that makes up like 40 or something percent of GDP or something like that.
Yeah, that is crazy. Like they always talk about, the small businesses are the backbone of the United States, and it really is. I'm interested in something you said, like if we see the majority of people moving to more gig work, starting their own business, I wonder if that helps the kind of soulless people, the soulless feeling that people have in the corporate world where they feel like there's no meaning to it.
Mm-hmm.
Because you could be doing the same work, but it's such a different thing if you're like solving this problem to get a paycheck to, feed your family, as opposed to just kind of being part of, a cog in the machine of a big corporate.
Yeah, it's different also. Like there's been times where I've seen the difference between if I take a Saturday off and I don't, the difference in the amount of money I make, so you take a lot of ownership over everything whenever, I have to go out and do the work in order to make the money. It just feels different. It's satisfying. It's scary, but the golden handcuffs are real with like a corporate job, but also it's just Yeah, I think a lot of people live unhappy lives for a long time because they're scared of risking it all.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting. Even if maybe taking that pay cut, but doing your own thing leads, way
To have more happiness.
fulfilling life. Yeah. Yeah, that is interesting. I do want to say this article does talk about a couple cases where someone started their own business and it failed. They lost all their savings and then they had to go back to a FANG company so just keep that in mind. Like, it's not guaranteed just because AI is out here you can just be successful.
Yeah, those stories happen more often than the success stories. Actually, I think you only hear about the success stories because it's really hard to essentially come back to a job with your tail between your legs, but that does happen.
Yeah.
And it's more likely, I think it's 1% of like 6% of businesses break $1 million. It's like a stupid, like
1%,
a year.
6%.
It's like a stupid low amount of businesses break $1 million in revenue in a year.
Yeah, that is crazy.
But that's also a testament to how many businesses start, how many businesses there are.
Yeah, no, for sure. It makes me think of like McDonald's founder, that guy who started.
Yeah.
I think he had like 5 different professional careers before he landed in like the fast food industry.
Yeah.
He was like 52. Yeah.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Well, cool. That's pretty much it for this article.
Nice.
I'd say if you're on the fence about leaving your high-paying job and starting something, just do it. Why not? Doesn't affect me.
Or just do it on the side. And if you can't put 10 hours into it a week, what makes you think you're going to be able to put the 60 in a week whenever you do it full time,
Yeah, that's fair.
Because it's going to take a lot.
It's
going to take a lot more work than you think. And if you are actually looking to see where AI may help you build your small business, you can go to infactodigital.com. We have every one of these episodes are turned into a blog post. You can go read daily AI news. It's the top tab. You can also get all of these written out to you and sent to your email with the Infacto Daily newsletter. With the Infacto Daily newsletter, you can go sign up for that and get these sent to your email every weekday. They're not annoying. They're helpful. You get practical tips. And if you would like a free strategy meeting with me to help you figure out what to automate first with AI, where does it even fit? Or do you want me to tell you, no, it's not going to work for you, and prove that you're right? You can go to infactodigital.com, click the top right contact us button. We'll ask you a couple questions and we'll talk about AI with you and see where it fits. Jackson, when is the first time you heard of Zoom?
I like the video app.
Yeah, the screen call app.
Yeah, definitely. Like, what would that be? March 2020?
Yeah, during COVID. Well, they rode the wave of remote work hard, and you could say they did a pretty dang good job at it. Well, they are now riding the AI wave as hard as they can, and they are building their own AI agent tooling into their Zoom for Workplace studio, I guess. So I didn't know this, but Zoom has like a workplace type of thing where it's like Slack and also does video calls. So it's like a whole workplace communication.
Like a messaging app? Like text.
Yeah. So they built an AI agent builder. And these agents let you build, customize, and automate work across your different apps that your business uses. So it will actually turn, like, if you have a meeting about something and you have Zoom connected to your coding agent like Claude or Cursor in the cloud, and you also have it connected to Jira or Trello or whatever you use for task management, essentially Zoom will take a call, figure out what it needs to do, go move the Jira ticket to in progress, go write the code with Claude, and then submit a merge request based on your meeting. So I have more on this, but as I'm saying this, I'm thinking, great, the worst part of every workday is going to be my whole workday, which is Zoom calls.
That's interesting. So it can read from the transcripts. You can have a team talking about a project, and it is kicking off the PRs, the updating the workflow.
Yeah,
that's interesting, because I feel like when we talk about AI, I usually picture one person using an agent, but having the full team, you still have like the expert developer, the product manager, designer. Everyone's just talking their expertise, and then the agent like implementing all of those.
Yeah, I think it's going to turn. Wow. So knowledge work in general, like is going to become even more hands-off knowledge work, where we want to do a thing, we talk about the thing, we plan out what we want it to do, we sign off on, we all agree on these 20 things, these 6 things, and then the AI is going to go do it, and then we're going to talk about the next thing, and then we're going to test what it did in 3 hours from now or tomorrow, and then we're going to talk about it more, and then it's going to go change it. And that's going to be people's life. All I'm saying is you better hire people you like, that you don't mind having calls with.
All day long.
All day long. So, I showed you, and we haven't talked about it on here yet. We need to do an episode that breaks it down. Comment below if you want us to break down this AI agent that I'm building that you can talk to on the phone or via text, and it will do a lot of stuff for you. But anyways, that was a horrible pitch. But essentially, I built a mode for it because people don't want to talk to AI, right? They want to talk to a person. But what the AI does is it listens to the call in the background, and as things are being spoke about, the AI is doing the work that is being talked about. So similar to this Zoom situation, but say you're an HVAC company and someone calls you and they're like, hey, I have this, I need someone to come look at it or give me a quote. The AI agent, by the time you're off the phone, can email the salesperson a draft of a quote, finding the exact system they need based on the questions that the salesperson asked and the homeowner said. So immediately after the call, you can have a whole summary of the call that the salesperson had. And then also, if you had this connected with your inventory system, it would tell you exactly which system to order. And whenever you're more confident with it, it could order them all for you. So if there's nothing else valuable anymore, it's speed and quality, right? And so the AI is going to make all of this so much faster if it's listening while things are happening and it's just making orders for you. Imagine having an assistant listen to every call that you don't pay, who never sleeps, and every phone call you're on, she does the work that's being spoke about just then. Or maybe you train it to wait until you give it an okay, but it gives you like a dashboard of like, just hit okay or hit go and I'll go do all this work that was talked about in this phone call. That is the future. And it's really cool that Zoom is hitting this as well.
Yeah, that's interesting. That's like what really can make a 1 or 2 person company like fully functional.
Yeah.
Offloading all that. So then the 2 employees can focus on the putting in the air conditioner and the sales part of it.
Yeah.
That's interesting too with Zoom because it's so ingrained in corporate already. So I wonder if it's going to get a lot of buy-in from those bigger corporations.
Well, I mean, yeah, it's like, how hard of a sell is it if you are like a 10-person company and you're on a Zoom contract and Zoom just outs this feature? It's like for free. Well, let me use it for free. And the way it tells you that is like, hey, it sounds like you just had a call about this. Do you want me to go do that for you?
Yeah.
Just click these 3 buttons and give me access and I'll go do it.
Yeah. You talked about firing Dylan in that meeting. Do you want me
do you want me to go start the HR paperwork? Yeah, it's huge. So let me get into the nitty gritty of this. Talk about some of the features, and then we'll talk about more opportunity here and what it means for the small business owners out there who are literally like the HVAC guy, the plumber. You don't want to hire a person that doesn't make money. You want to hire somebody who you can pay $25-$30 an hour and bill $100 to $150 an hour for them. And you put all that into, making people's lives better. So if that's you're trying to not hire overhead, you're trying to hire people that are going to make you money, then automate the rest. And this is going to help you do that. So Zoom's AI agent builder, it's a no code AI agent builder. You can create agents using prompts. So no programming. So you're just telling it has a little agent builder flow where you're like, I want to do this. And then it keeps asking you questions until it gets it right. Then you can test it. It has pre-made templates for roles like sales, IT, and marketing. And then plus like full customization. So you can start with like a sales template and then customize from there, or just start from scratch. Agents can work across tools like Slack, Gmail, Salesforce, Jira, Outlook. So exactly like what I was just saying a second ago. Workflow orchestration, they'll execute multi-step tasks like update a CRM and then send follow-up messages and then XYZ. Multi-turn agents, super helpful. So it adapts to people's roles that are using it. So it knows who you are when you're prompting it. So if it knows you're in sales, it just knows what to suggest the next prompt to be because it's going to assume you're building something for sales. It'll learn about your habits, and it'll just get to know the users better. Suggest actions. and completes tasks automatically based on conversations. We kind of talked about that. So you're not prompting it to do anything. The prompt is the context and the conversations. And yeah, it pulls from multiple connected systems to generate context. So I'm wondering if you did just pay Zoom, I wonder if they would pull in your Outlook email and all of that as well. So AI canvases turn meetings into full documents, spreadsheets, or presentations. So that's cool. So you just have a spreadsheet ready by the time you're out of a meeting. That's great. Imagine you're in a sales call. You're a field technician for HVAC. You're in a sales call. And then by the time you're done with the call, you can email directly or send a text immediately after you get off the call to the prospect, telling them about your company and how you're going to help them and the exact system you're going to do and give them a plan forward. That would be huge. It's not, how many times have I mean, I don't know about you, but like I've had to fix a couple things in my house and it took like a week to get an estimate. Sometimes the sales guy is good and he'll do it in the car before he leaves, which I think is probably the best idea. But how nice. Right now I'm working with a handyman guy and an HVAC guy. Both of them are like 1 to 3 person businesses. And it's really slow to get things from them. Imagine if they had this set up and they just listened to the call. And by the time it was done, they hit approve. And the AI agent, because of our phone call, just sent me a text of a quote to approve or disapprove or ask questions about. That would have been great. Don't be afraid of this. This is the future. People are going to love this. I can just hear the disdain in the small business owner. It's very difficult to get on, but also like you sound exactly like the person who said the internet wouldn't work. Anyways, soapbox. I slipped off my soapbox. I'm done.
Yeah. I feel
Go
like
ahead.
as soon as, some companies will start using stuff like this and then they're going to start winning more clients because that's what customers want. So it is adapt if you want to stay competitive.
Yeah, man, imagine just a personal assistant who is on top of it and never has a bad day. That's what this is. It's a very good generalist and can get better and better the more context it gives. So some extra capabilities, and then we can talk more about this. It does have third-party integrations to other enterprise tools. I'm not going to list them all here, but literally the custom workflows in a natural language. I mentioned that at the top of this, but that's huge. You don't have to drag and drop things. You don't have to write code unless you want to, but it offers, writing code or just doing prompts. So, or just vibe code. Like you're going to vibe code if you're doing code anyways. So use case, we already talked about a lot here, but this, in the Zoom article, sales, update the CRM, generate reports, yada, yada. IT, categories, tickets, suggest fixes. Yeah, this is huge. And I think a lot of work is going to go this way. And work is going to come out of calls like these. We should probably, that'd be fun to set up an agent that listens to this. It actually does it. So I'll let you say what you're going to say, but I have an idea on how this is going to work.
That's where I was headed. I was curious because we use Riverside for this podcast, which I know is like one of the main video podcast recording. Yeah. So what kind of agents are they running in the background? Yeah,
so they have a lot of AI agents. And I want to say our approach is not 100% automated. And Riverside's is mostly like, we'll get 90% of it done and you're going to go handle the rest of it and tweak what you want. But I really like their approach so far. And I'm kind of taking an approach with how we're publishing this podcast. So let me talk about what happens in Riverside. And I want to talk about what we're doing to publish this podcast and distribute it. We're distributing almost 500 videos a week now.
Dang.
Like shorts across multiple channels, the long form and the short form. So we're doing a lot and just I think less than 2 months. I think we're doing this like 3 or 4 weeks, maybe. We're at almost 50,000 total views on the channel, which isn't crazy. Like nothing has popped off yet, but shorts are going well. And we're getting traffic to our website. And that's only happening. Like you don't have to have a crazy amount of views. You just have to get some traction. And so I'm saying what's reasonable. I'm not going to tell you we're getting millions of views because we're not. But with this process I'm about to share, like we are getting real traffic to our website. We're getting actual views on short clips, and it's all going to compound over time. I've no problem with only getting 1 to 20 views on our full episodes because you just got to keep doing it and learning and seeing what works. But anyways, so Riverside, after we record, it generates, I can pre-configure what I want it to generate after we do a recording. And so it'll do magic edit, I think is what it's called. It'll also do magic clips and do magic hooks, and it will record or it'll edit magic segments. I have to manually create multiple full episodes from each take we do, because we record these all in like 2 hours or so on a weekend, and then we cut it down into individual episodes. But then from there, all I have to do is, it has suggestions on what to edit out. Like if me and Jackson talk about things in the background, it suggests what to edit. It catches those. I edit them out. I listen to it through the whole thing. And I put music at the start and end, and music in the middle. That's really soft, like what you're hearing right now. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that soft music. So that's everything that Riverside does. And then I take it over to Opus Clips, who chops it into short clips for social media. So after the video is exported in Riverside, I put the Riverside link in Opus, and then Opus can create clips. I massage those a little bit. I take the top 12 to 20 and I publish those on social media, and Opus Clips does the scheduling for me, which is really nice.
Yeah, that's cool.
So from there, we send an email out every episode. We send a blog post out every episode. Actually, and then we also publish to, all the podcast distributions in YouTube, and Riverside handles that. Riverside has a hosting system, so Riverside does that. So I have an AI agent that I kick off. I give it a prompt, and this AI agent takes the prompt, writes the email, writes the blog post, and that's the two main things it writes. And then I have a system in the website to easily create those and insert those. Now, the AI content is good because I've spent a lot of time writing without AI. And I have given the agent, I've essentially trained an agent to write like me, and I've given it a bunch of research. So this agent writes exactly like I do. It's writing exactly what I would write, but probably 10 times faster. And I'm still looking through the emails and the blog posts, making sure they're accurate and they're formatted the same way. But by this time, I've got it dialed down. So we're still in the human in the loop segment of this automation. And I strongly suggest anybody that is wanting to automate something with AI, I practice what I preach. Do one thing at a time, which is distribute this podcast, and do it manually first. So we've done podcasts in the past. I know what it's like to edit the podcast. I also know what it's like to write blog posts and write emails. And so do it manually first, understand what you want. When you understand what you want, you have the context to give the AI what's good. And so from there, you start automating little steps. So I have a transcript. What would I do to turn this transcript into a blog post? I would do all this. So you build the AI to do that. And then you do the same thing for an email. You tell it what a good email looks like. You give it examples. And so right now we're in the stage of the AI is only coming up with that. I'm still publishing it to the website. I'm still scheduling the emails, but the AI is doing, 80% of the work. So eventually we will get to a point where it's 100% automated, and all I have to do is hit approve, and then it distributes it everywhere. But we're not there yet, because this human in the loop section we're in right now, I still have to make adjustments to everything. And so I'm training all the content it's creating so that whenever it is completely automated, it's smarter. So that's me going through the process of doing this, and kind of going through the process of what it looks like to automate something in the real world, because a lot of people don't even know what an AI is or what a chat GPT is. And they're having a hard time understanding what it looks like to automate something. I hope that draws a picture for somebody. Like, you just start with one thing. I want to do this thing. Maybe it's something you do now that's annoying, or maybe it's something that there's opportunity in that you don't have time to do, which is kind of this podcast. There's opportunity to do it, but we wouldn't have time to do it without the help of AI. And it would be a nightmare if we didn't know how to use AI.
Yeah.
And so start with something smaller than this. If you've never used AI or you've never done the thing you're trying to do, ideally automate something you've done before. Start with something small, keep a human in the loop. Like, you press publish, you're the final stakeholder. The AI is just your assistant. And then maybe a month or two after you've ran that and you've trained the model on what good is, maybe then you can 100% automate it. But most work is going to be, 80 to 90% automated. Yeah,
I feel like it's, when you look at a real example of how AI is being used, it's a lot less magical and glamorous than the AI hype bros make it seem. Like, you're not inventing new tech or anything. It's just like, take the boring parts and automate it.
Yeah, and I haven't written a lot of code to do this. I'm using existing tools like Cursor and Cursor Rules, which Cursor is just like Claude Code or something. It's a code editor for you write prompts and it writes code. Luckily, I have experience writing code for about 10 years, so I know what I want when writing code. I know what to ask. But yeah, I just have used the coding tools, and it's just like a coding project. All the emails and stuff are in the folder and on the left hand. There's different ways to do it, but that's the way I did. But yeah, I didn't have to write software to do this. I'm using existing tools. Spending on all the AI tools, it's less than $100 a month. And to get this kind of work done, I would have to have another contractor, and it probably wouldn't be this good, because essentially I've just duplicated myself. And not saying I'm good, I'm saying good. Now, good would be somebody that could duplicate my voice, someone that can write like me, like a ghostwriter, and that would be very expensive. Because I'm not trying to write the perfect thing. I'm trying to share with the world like who I am, and let people get to know me so they trust me, so that I can help them do what I'm doing with AI right now, you know?
Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, no, that's cool. Thanks for going through that.
Yeah.
It is interesting to see step by step, like what is automated, what's still manual.
Yeah, I should set up a presentation for it, like a chart, and actually go through it. Because this we're supposed to be just talking about Zoom's AI agent, but essentially, Zoom's AI agent, is going to be able to do that 80% of that work, based on meetings. It's going to be awesome. Yeah, and it's essentially going to do similar to what I'm already doing here. Yeah,
I want to take a hot take. I'm going to say every communication platform is going to have this have their own agents.
Yeah.
And everyone's going to get used to that, just talking, and then stuff gets done.
Yeah. Well, most agents now, you can just at them, like in Slack or Teams or something. You can just at the agent and it'll run. Yeah. So Cursor is like a code editor that runs on my computer, but it also has a cloud agent that runs on a virtual computer somewhere. And you can at Cursor Cloud, and then it knows your account, and it will go kick up an agent based on the conversation that just happened. So yeah, good stuff. That's all I've got. You have anything else you want to talk about with this one?
No, not with this one. I think it's cool. It's exciting.
Yeah, very exciting. I'm excited to see other tools doing this kind of work. Let the humans do the human thing, and let the robots do the robot thing. And humans have been doing the robot thing longer than we think I want. So
yeah, that's why I'm praying for AI Siri, agentic Siri. As long as it's going to be so nice.
Yes, it's finally going to be what it's supposed to be.
And then, fun fact, Dylan, did you see that SpaceX is buying Cursor?
No, I had no idea this. This is actually news to me.
Yeah, so you are a Cursor user. You actually got me to sign up just a week ago.
Yes, I use Cursor for everything.
So, for those who don't know, Cursor is an AI agentic coding software. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, this week, Elon Musk's SpaceX company struck a deal for the right to acquire the parent company of Cursor, which is Anysphere, for $60 billion, which is insane to think about. This company didn't exist, 4 years ago?
Yeah, that's nuts. Do you know who their CEO is? Have you ever heard of him?
No, I don't know much about him.
Okay, so it's kind of crazy. I've kind of followed some of his stuff, but after Cursor. Like, I wasn't like creeping on this dude. I just heard about him. I was like, okay, this is wild. His name is Michael Truell. He's 25 years old. He was a former Google intern and MIT dropout.
Man, I wish I dropped out from MIT instead of a community college.
Yeah, I dropped out of 2 junior colleges. Yeah, so
that's crazy though. So, how old is he now?
He's 25 now.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So they started when he was like 22 or something.
I feel like we should do the TBPN thing and ring the gong for him.
Yeah, he deserves it. That's wild. So what's the angle? Or I guess I'll let you lead, but my thoughts are like, what's the angle? Why is SpaceX buying this? So I know they're buying like Tesla, like there's a weird merger with Tesla and stuff. I know they're building infrastructure to put people on Mars, but go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, everyone's kind of wondering the same thing. Why are they spending $60 billion to buy this company
when they could just use it for a lot cheaper?
Yeah. So the speculation is it's not about using the product or even the revenue from that necessarily. He's hoping to bring in more AI expertise to help XAI, who
he's buying their assets.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. He wants to look under the hood.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Which makes sense. I mean, if this 25-year-old, started this thing, like that's talent you want on your team.
Yeah.
Another angle is SpaceX is set to IPO this year at like...
So there's gathering. Yeah.
I think, let me see the current valuation that it's... Okay, it's supposed to IPO at 1.75 trillion, which I believe their revenue last year was like 15 billion. So it's insane how much they're...
That's a huge multiple.
Yeah, it's crazy. So I believe, let me see. So I'm trying to see, I think, by acquiring Cursor, that brings up their revenue significantly because Cursor's revenue, let me see. Yeah, I mean, it was over 2 billion, which isn't crazy, but when you're trying to IPO at 1.75 trillion, it helps. So that's kind of another way people are looking at this deal, is he's just trying to sweeten the package for buying the SpaceX stock, because you get Starlink, XAI, and Cursor now in one stock.
Yeah, that's up to 110x multiple. So when I say multiple, generally when you sell a business, sell its value, you come up with its sell value based on a multiple of its profits. Sometimes revenue, most of the small businesses that I understand, it's like, 3 to 5 years of yearly profits. So if you profited $100,000 last year, your business is worth $300,000 to $500,000. And that number can fluctuate between, the agreement, and also, do you have, what kind of accounting setup are you on? And do you have a big customer list, like other assets and stuff? But that's typically what a multiple is. So essentially, if SpaceX was to sell at this price, the owner would not get profitable in their lifetime.
Yeah.
I mean, IPO is a little different. It's essentially you're letting the Fed. How would you describe this, Jackson? How would you describe going public? I mean, everyone understands, like, everyone can just buy part of a business, but it's essentially like we're putting slices of ourselves up for sale, and we're not worth the amount that we're saying you're going to buy us for, but that's okay.
Yeah.
Like, where's there room to go up?
Yeah,
That's
I mean,
crazy.
that's the question. So when they IPO, all the current equity holders in the company, as well as any private equity that's invested in the company, they all have shares that they're then going to sell to the public markets.
So it's like if me and you own something 50-50 and we IPO'd, we could decide to hold a portion, like we each hold now 10%, and then we sell the other 80% to the public, and then the public is buying it from us, essentially. I mean, I think, we would. It's like there's a thing in between that, but yeah.
And then the bank is supposed to figure out that value price that you IPO at. What's the market willing to pay here? And I believe the last round of private investment into SpaceX valued them at 800 billion. So this would be IPO at double. So if you got into that private investment round earlier this year, you could instantly double. But the risk there is that you have to hold for 6 months, and everyone's wondering if the stock just tanks as soon as they go public, because that is a crazy multiple, or if people believe in Elon and the future of space, because they could grow their revenue significantly in the next 10 years, and then that multiple comes down and you got in early.
I don't want a business to exist that is big enough to make money based on an IPO that's 110. I don't want that size of business to exist.
I mean, at this point it's like a conglomerate, right? It's not even space, the SpaceX, and Starlink is a space company, so that makes sense. But then why do they have a code editor?
I mean, you could say, though, Cursor's building out a pretty robust platform. Their cloud agent stuff, remote executing on a computer, is pretty slick. I'm sure that there's some stuff. Hopefully there's some stuff going on that's worth, hopefully the juice is worth the squeeze.
Yeah. Would you buy SpaceX?
No, I'm not going to buy it. Man, it would be cool to have one share for my great niece, to maybe make some money on it. I think it's hard to say, because I would love to say it's a gamble just as much to buy it at IPO as it is to buy it 6 months after.
Yeah, I mean, it's always a gamble, right?
Because if you commit to buying 6 months after, it could be double what it was at IPO, and that sucks. I don't know. If it dips to something reasonable, I'll buy it. But man, I don't know. It would be fun to own a slice of it just because it's cool. I feel like that's part of the value, right?
No, I mean, definitely. That's why people pay the high multiple for Elon's companies, Tesla.
It's like buying part. It's like the Green Bay Packers are owned by the city, and you can own part of it. You just buy it because it's cool. You're making nothing off of it.
Yeah. I mean, Tesla's at looks like 170 multiple. also. So people are just willing to pay crazy for Elon's companies. I see in this article from the Financial Times talking about this. One of SpaceX's big goals is to create data centers in space. So that makes sense if they have that infrastructure and then they have their own, coding agent software. You're probably going to get the best compute using them. So that could be a big revenue stream.
Yeah, I mean, Cursor may have something figured out because their AI agents do run faster. Every time I choose which models to run in Cursor, when I choose, so for most of the writing type stuff of trying to get to duplicate my style of writing, I'll use Claude, Opus, or Sonnet. And whenever I write code, I'll use the Cursor's own model, Composer 2. And Composer's so much faster. And so and it's just really good at writing code. So they're really good at fine-tuning models. They're really good at making them fast. I would love to see models running in my Starlink satellite, Yeah. It'd be pretty wild.
Yeah, it is crazy to think about. The fact that space is becoming an investable market it feels very strange that 10 years from now, are we actually mining the moon and sending shipments back and forth?
Yeah, dude. We're going to see, I think we will see in our lifetime us harvesting the moon.
Yeah, which is insane, but I think so too. I mean, with the Artemis missions.
Yeah, or the moon.
And then just all the private space companies too.
Yeah, the moon base is definitely going to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's going to be wild. And all it's going to be vibe coded. Everything in there is going to be vibe coded.
Yeah, well, hopefully they use Cursor.
Yeah, well, they definitely will. Anything else?
I mean, that's pretty much it for this deal. It does say if Elon backs out, I should say SpaceX backs out, they have to pay $10 billion to Cursor.
Oh, good. Dude, yeah. Heck of a deal.
Yeah, I don't think that would happen. Did you see, this is a tangent, but the Netflix Paramount deal where Netflix was trying to buy Paramount?
No. Interesting.
So it was Netflix and...
There's Paramount, Hulu, Disney Plus. I don't know.
Oh, okay. No, my bad. Netflix was trying to buy out Warner Bros. And Paramount was also trying to buy that out. So
okay.
Netflix got into a deal and then Warner Bros. Decided to go with Paramount and had to pay Netflix $3 billion as a cancellation fee. Mm-hmm. So that's crazy to think a company can make $3 billion by not doing anything. Dude,
think about that business decision. You've heard of sunk cost fallacy. It's you want to keep doing something because of the amount you've already invested in it. Yeah. It's how easy would it have been to just be okay, we should just go with Netflix because we already owe them money and all this stuff. But they actually thought it was a better decision, so much so that they were willing to pay to get out of that deal.
I think it's because Paramount offered so much more money.
Yeah,
I think Paramount basically.
Well, Paramount probably said, "Yeah, we'll pay the thing."
Yeah,
yeah, I do remember hearing about that deal now, and that's going to be a lot of new content to license into their streaming service.
To Paramount Plus now.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, they get all of HBO, so Harry Potter, Game of Thrones, lots of big franchises. Nice.
I wonder if, so that means they'll probably keep licensing it for the contracts, but I know Peacock has Harry Potter.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm wondering, what sucks is you can't just be one user of something. Or you're on Paramount today, but then business decisions are made and now you got to be another subscriber of something else. It's wild.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why you can reject it all and just go to the dark side.
Yeah, go to the Plex server.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a perfect example, though, of AI is making more people more capable and needing less employees. And naturally, if a business needs less employees, there's going to just be more unique businesses. We're already seeing that with five companies doing satellite or cable or whatever. And now there's probably, honestly, because of every niche there's probably hundreds of streaming services.
Yeah.
That exist in a market that never existed before. So it's it's so hard to be a doomsdayer when we can't predict what's going to be a thing. We all knew streaming was going to happen eventually. It makes more sense. And I did predict this. I wish I was smart enough to write things down on LinkedIn when I was 23. But I did say, and I think that whatever this is for AI, it's that essentially I predicted that instead of paying cable, $120 a month or whatever, you're going to pay like $10 or $20 for each channel, and you're only going to have each channel. I remember saying that and now it's like actually happening. It's wild, but it's going to be, I used to buy the whole Microsoft suite, and now I just pay for these small little things or whatever that is. I don't know what that's going to be like, and I can't predict. I can't pretend that I can predict it, but it's going to be different. There's going to be opportunity. You just got to serve people. Like, you just got to try to do the right thing.
Yeah, no, for sure. And then if you do the right thing, maybe you can sell to Elon and make a couple billion.
Yeah. Man, I could go on so many tangents though, just about this stuff, but this is great.
Podcast and just like talk about it.
Yeah, that sounds good. Do you want to do it? Yeah, let's start a podcast.
Yeah. Cursor did say they're going to use SpaceX's massive computing resources to continue developing their own coding model, which is the composer model. So that was a big reason that they wanted to be acquired by SpaceX. I'm sure the 60 billion was a bigger reason, but
yeah, that'll help.
It doesn't hurt. That's interesting. I didn't realize their model is built on top of Kimmy from Moonshot.
It was. Their latest model is. They've switched. One was made from Quinn, and the other one before that, I don't remember what it was started off at. But yeah, they start with, like a Chinese model, open source model, and then they fine tune it. Kimmy's was the best one, and that's what their 2.5, I think, was built off of.
Okay.
That's what it says.
Yeah, it just says one of the models from Moonshot.
Yeah. So what does this mean for the small business owner? For most of you, not a lot. But if you are writing code, if you're trying to build AI agents and you're using Claude Code, give Cursor a try. Again, I've been on Cursor hardcore, haven't been touched. I've messed with Claude, and it is nice. It is good, but I like Cursor so much, and I'm excited to see what's going to happen out of this partnership. So people should be more capable now. If you're a small business owner, the classic HVAC guy example, then this just means that, whoever you're asking to build AI agents for you is going to be even more capable, in that SpaceX is, don't buy the SpaceX stock. This is not investing advice, but it's wild.
Yeah, no, for sure. And I think hopefully Cursor, we see improvements from Cursor itself because of all the resources they now have.
Yeah.
Maybe it just gets even better and is a strong competitor to Claude.
Yeah. I do want to say, like, sometimes I guess at a certain level of business, it makes sense to just buy an existing company, then try to start a whole department yourself or kick off your whole thing. Like, there's a point where it just becomes, if you need so much of what a company does, you just buy them instead of like scalping all their people.
Yeah. Which is kind of Elon's playbook, because he bought Tesla early on. He bought Twitter. Like,
yeah, just buy it. Like, maybe from that perspective, from the HVAC guy, it's like, if you have liquidity or you have access to $1 million, like, imagine the business that you can buy for $1 million that you could level up your business with. Like, you could buy a whole new distribution chain instead of you just hiring a bunch of electricians. You buy an electrician company or something like that. Like, take Elon's advice here. Just buy an existing channel and use your existing business experience to do it. But that's, I feel like, such a advanced senior level business owner thing. And it's like that, or it is your business, like that, or like private equity is your business.
You're right. Yeah. I don't know. As a former HVAC person myself, I did see that a lot in the city I was in. It's like a few bigger companies would buy up the smaller.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's interesting. It kind of gives the small companies like a goal, or a goal.
Yeah. Oh, I gotta get. Yeah, think about your multiple. I want to get to this revenue.
Yeah.
So that I could essentially make $1 million. Like, that's your $1 million. Make $300,000 profit a year.
Yeah.
And you'll be a millionaire.
Cash out if that's what you want to do. You don't have to run a business for your whole life.
So. Yeah. Just do it for 5 years.
Yeah. Cool. Well, I'm also not buying SpaceX, so.
Nice.
I'm on your side.
If you do, let us know. Set a timer, buy it, and then we'll check in with you in 6 months. And we'll either borrow money or I'll loan you $10 so that you can get some lunch. Yeah, it's exciting. I'm excited to see what this does. This is going to actually affect me, probably affect you. I'm pretty excited about it.
Yeah, hopefully
it goes
keep
through.
it off Grok exclusive mode, and you can use the good models.
I'll be mad. But it sounds like they're going to, it's going to go the other way. They're going to improve Grok with all this stuff.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. Start vibe coding in my Twitter threads. All right. That's it for today. Is that all you got?
That's it.
Cool. If you're a small business owner looking to see where AI fits in your business, if you want to have a meeting with me for absolutely free, I'll listen to you talk about your business, see what you want to automate in it, and I'll just give you the steps you need to take to start using AI in your business for absolutely free. If you just want to kind of lurk on this podcast, you can go to YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever, or you can go to infactodigital.com, sign up for our email newsletter, and we send these right as they come out every morning of every day at 9 a.m. Eastern. And you can have in your inbox the latest AI news so that you can stay on top of everything. People will start coming to you with their questions about AI after just like 2 weeks. You just got to listen to this thing for 2 weeks, and then you'll be up to speed on everything. But yeah, go to infactodigital.com, go sign up for our newsletter, read the last blog posts, the last tips that we've got. I just updated the blog page actually. Jackson, you should go check it out. Subscribe wherever you're listening, and we're going to make you smarter and help you figure out AI. We're all in this together. I'll hold your hand.
That was so sweet. I hope you have a great day, listener.
Yeah, have a good one.